Hi everyone, I am Dhruti Shah and today I've got with me Chef Arva.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us and actually I'll let you do your own introduction. So why don't you tell us who Chef Arva is?
So, Truthi, it's always a pleasure doing this with you. You're a good friend and you've come a long way, and I think I'm so proud of you. So, before I even introduce myself, I think I should say nice things about you.
You're too kind, always.
Thank you. So, for all those who know me or who don't know me, my name is Chef Arva, and I am a home baker and a specialist in eggless pastries and desserts. I am also the proud author of the first ever Kenyan children's cookbook, which was published and printed in Kenya. And yeah, it's for kids at your home, aged 6 to about 13 years. And yeah, it's more about bringing independence in the kitchen and teaching your young kids confidence in your own kitchen using your own cooking setup. And of course, it's been inspired by my two daughters. So I forgot to mention I'm a mom of two.
Yeah, and when you actually published the book, they were certain age, but how old are they now?
So I have two daughters, and my elder one's 12, Alifia, and my younger one, Ruhi, is 10. But when we were actually working on the cookbook, the ages for the younger one was 6 and 8.
And she was able to do all this?
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea. The idea was that if you can do it, so can the rest. So it was not a cookbook from the baker side of me, but it was more of the mother instincts in me, that when they want to be in the kitchen, baking, I feel like, is very technical. And there is a norm that I've heard always that goes around is, Mommy, I want to cook or I want to bake. And the first thing the mom will say is, let's do cupcakes. But this is where the issue is. Cupcakes is not as simple as everybody makes it sound. I mean, if you can do it, good for you. But baking is a lot of technicalities. There's temperature, there's measuring, there's so much more depth. And I feel like the first way to introduce a child into a kitchen is basic recipes. Easy recipes, easy ingredients, things that don't involve much technicality. Let them get their hands on the recipes first. Then we can always bake a cake or move to the next level. So this cookbook is just designed, it's actually a no dough. I've tried to make it a no dough recipe, yeah. And something easy, again, Kenyan ingredients. I've tried to concentrate on easily available products, not that when you want to make something and you're like, okay, oh gosh, I don't have this ingredient at home. Now I have to go buy. So easy things like bread, vegetables, fruits, everything that's available in the kitchen.
These are really fun recipes.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
My kids have gone through them, and the jacket potato one,
Yes.
and even the chocolate one is so yummy. And it's true, they can actually just do it themselves by looking at the book.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my first and very obvious question. How do you get into baking? Because when you were working professionally, you were that's not how you started.
Yes. So I think a lot of people don't know this about me now, because baking has been 10 years now. So Bake Me Some Buns is the home business on Instagram. We have actually made 10 years this year.
Oh, congratulations.
I know. Thank you so much. But those who don't know, I used to be in a medical field, and I used to be a specialist for dental equipment and ICU ventilators. And then I had my two beautiful daughters who were born with allergies and complications. And I had to take a break from work. Because they needed my full-time attention. And due to their allergies, which is, for example, gluten-free, dairy-free, I had to venture. They took me out of my comfort zone, and, I had to provide for them. And I think 10 years ago, or let me say 12 years ago, as Kenya, the bakery industry was still not prepared for gluten-free or dairy-free. It was very hard.
I remember having this conversation with, mom friends, and they're like, oh my God, gluten-free things are not available. Ingredients are not available. Forget, finished products.
Finished products, yeah. And even then, if they are available, it's not to your liking. They're too dry. They're not pleasing. So I decided to just put a cap on my head and said, you know what? I got to do this, and I got to learn how to get stuff done. Of course, I spoke to a lot of friends who showed me how to hoover around the whole gluten-free and what kind of flours are available out there. And so just venturing and exploring. And they started school and they started taking these baked goodies to school. And that's how the word spread. And now it's a successful home business.
That is so
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah.
you've also expanded on that, what you bake and make from home.
Yes.
So you started with
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah,
cinnamon rolls, yeah.
rolls.
So I was a die-hard fan of cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
I think when we used to travel, I used to go visit my sister in Canada, and they used to have the cinnamon rolls there, which were a really big thing. And these were one of the cravings I had when I was pregnant with my second one.
Wow.
And I was like, I really crave that cinnamon roll. And you know how they say, if you can't get them, just bake them. Yeah. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I think I burnt about 3 or 4 batches initially. To a point, even the house help was like, Mama, just leave it. It's not your thing. So I was like, no, but I really crave them and I really need them. And you know, and of course, later on when I mastered the art of making cinnamon rolls, I realized that they were even eggless, which is such a good thing to have because both my kids had egg allergies as well. And yeah, cinnamon rolls is what we do. Then donuts, of course, eggless donuts for schools, for birthday parties. And then I further ventured into something which was very gluten-free and dairy-free, which was chocolate-coated strawberries. Yeah, because the market now started accepting gluten-free and dairy-free. Initially, it was very difficult for me to even tell people eggless cinnamon rolls. They'd be like, no, thank you, we don't want them. You know, because of the name out there, that something gluten-free or dairy-free or eggless is not appealing or is not tasty.
Yeah.
You know, but I think this is the touch that home bakers give. And if you're making something from home, you know, you're adding good quality ingredients, you're adding a really nice touch to your product.
And it's fresh.
It's
and
fresh.
It's made with love.
Made with love, made with no preservatives, you know, and everything it's scratch baking. So the final product 100% has to turn out to be yummy. And then we also made vegan chocolates, dairy-free, gluten-free, nut-free, preservative-free chocolates. And then we started personalizing them to any occasion, be it Valentine's, Diwali, Eid. So that was an added touch that Bake Me Some Buns did. We even ventured into like 100 grams, 50 grams, 5 grams. So any corporate events and anything. So yeah, it's done well. We've like spread it out quite a while.
That is awesome. And I'll just pull this here. This is one of them, right?
Yes.
This is one of them.
That's for you, Dhruti. I've given you an early Valentine's gift.
I love dark chocolate.
In case no one's given you, I wanted to be the first one.
And these are the famous chocolate-coated strawberries. So beautiful. Can't wait to open and eat them. I had to save them for this picture.
Thank you. Good luck if they survive. But
okay, cool. So I wanted to ask you, like, for this recipe book, the recipes are so, you know, simple to follow, clear instructions. You know, you've laid out what you need and the techniques like the kneading, rolling, the mixing, everything. How difficult was it to keep it simple?
Yeah. So, you know, like Dhruti, I said, it's the idea of the cookbook now came. So this is a journey, right? The baking, the kids getting the allergies, and now the cookbook. So how does the cookbook come into place? So basically, the girls started becoming fond of baking and cooking because they used to see me make all these yummy goodies. I mean, anyone would be like, I want to bake too. I want to help you. And this is it. Because I'd already mastered the art of baking and chocolate making, I felt it was very technical. And I'm also tired. I mean, I'm baking for friends and family, but then I also don't want to do it as a passion, right? For the kids, like it's too technical for them. So what I decided is let's start with very simple recipes whereby there is no starting the machine. It's so funny. I can let them use a microwave, but when it comes to using an oven, I'm just like, okay, hold on. Okay, wait a minute. Wear your gloves. Is the temperature okay? Please be careful. So the mother cap on me does go on.
But then you're right. Like a lot of times, a lot of moms are like, oh, knife, don't let them cut. You know, things like that.
This is it.
A lot of other people may have other reservations, like don't go, you know, anything to do with the pan or the gas and things like that. But I feel like teaching them all this, first of all, you bond.
Yes.
And then when they learn how to do all this with you, whether it's chopping or kneading or even just mixing and putting things in the microwave, they get so confident.
Absolutely. That is the word. That is the word, confidence. And this is also teaching them step by step.
Yeah.
So like you said, the jacket potatoes, it's such an easy recipe, but it's just actually cooking, And this is what I always tell everybody, that baking is not cooking. Cooking is cooking. It's not it. Like, this is what I was even trying to tell you. They can help you in the kitchen. If you're grating carrots, let them do it. If you're chopping vegetables, let them help you. That's how it starts, with basic and simplicity. And that's how I also realized that if I start them with the basics, they will slowly be able to move up the bar very confidently. What happens sometimes, and I think it's every day-to-day life skill, if you try and move someone very fast, what happens is, if something goes wrong, they give up instantly. But if everything is taken step by step, if they do have problems in between, they'll be like, no, maybe something's gone wrong. Or you're so experienced, you'll be like, no, hold on, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I think it's the right channel to even take to the kids. And this is why the cookbook was my best source to get to all the mothers out there, to all the kids out there, that learn how to first start in your own kitchen, then go for cooking classes, then go explore, become master chefs, go for it, But I always believe charity begins at home, Start in your own house, Do all the blunders, all the experiments in your house.
And I totally agree with you, because cooking as a life skill is so important. What it teaches you, apart from cooking, is so much else, like what we talked about, confidence and stuff as well. But as a life skill, like I always say, that you should be able to feed yourself and 10 others if they come to your house.
Yeah.
Even if it's a simple, like, eggs and beans and chapati and curry or whatever it is. But it's important for everyone. Like, I've got 2 boys, and every Saturday they would make me breakfast.
It's amazing. It's amazing. You see, because you've left out your kitchen to them. You've allowed them to explore, right? And something simple like a sandwich, and just gives them confidence. I remember, Valentine's Day is coming up, but I just remember last year, my daughters told me, stay in bed, mommy, we're going to make something for you. And, they whipped up simple things. They made a cute little sandwich, a toast. They made a smoothie for me. They decorated it with some flowers. And when they brought that to me, I was over the moon. But the looks on their faces, the happiness and the joy that they were getting. And this is it. Like, we are in such a commercial world right now, sadly, that everything revolves around how much money do I have so that I can spend and buy something. But this is a gift now on its own, whereby even if they're not accessible to money, they can make something and just give it to you as a present, be it Mother's Day, Father's Day, Parents' Day, Children's Day, name it, any occasion. You're also giving them that extra thing that, hey, why don't you make something and give it to me? I'll appreciate it. You'll eat it and you'll all have a good time. You'll bond. You'll have a good laugh. And
And I love that you say that, because in this commercial world, we're teaching them things beyond, like, just money, right?
Exactly.
That's things that you can make with your hands and, then serve it to somebody. That has more personal, value and love attached to it than just buying something.
Yes.
And sadly, we're all losing that.
But you're getting the joy. Like, your boys have the cookbook and they're making you breakfast. So kudos to the boys.
Yes.
And just to add on to that we've almost sold almost 500 copies successfully. We sold 500 copies, and majority are boys, actually. So it's so good to see how parents or mothers of today's era are supporting boys to cook. And like you said, it's a life skill, and I want everyone to look at it. It's not a gender associated thing that girls, you need to cook, boys can relax. I think boys are showing so much interest to cook, and it's so good for them, because towards the end, you're raising good boys as well. They can be a helping hand in the kitchen, which is fun, you know.
Yeah.
Cooking is fun as well. It's not supposed to be like a daily chore.
I believe all life skills should be learned by everybody, regardless of their gender. Like tomorrow, if your girls and my boys turn 16, 18, we're going to teach them how to drive, right?
Yeah.
So then why not start with all this,
Yes,
right? Like
yes.
they should learn everything in the house, cooking, cleaning, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Start them young. Yes, I know there are hazards. There's everything. But like now, how much can we protect them? Right?
we can't.
So don't protect them with the knife. I mean, a cut will go a long way. Let them have that cut. That's how you learn. If you're not going to allow them to make kitchen mistakes, how are you going to allow them to grow? It's so like funny how when they go to school, we can say, it's okay if you made a mistake.
Yeah.
That's how you learn. Yeah. The same applies to the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's okay if you've made
Why
a mistake.
not?
That's the only way the child will know that next time when I'm cutting, I need my fingers to be positioned this way. I need to get it right this way. And, you know, like, voila, it's also fun.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. How did you learn when you were a kid?
I really don't like that. Trudy, you always ask me this question.
Because I learned it this way, the way you're describing. My mom's like, here,
Yeah.
showed me once. And I cut my finger more than once. But then it was just like, okay, now I'm,
Yeah.
this is, you know?
So I think I was really protected, whereby don't touch the oven, don't touch the knife, don't do this. The other thing is the reason why I've also gone into eggless baking, and this is why the cookbook is also eggless and vegetarian, is when my mom used to bake cakes. There were so many times I was so interested to bake cakes with her. I mean, no doubt her cakes, her recipes were amazing. But when I would start doing it, there was 2-3 times the cakes would go flat.
Oh.
Right? And I would be like, oh my God, you know what happened? And then, okay, the oven probably was not in the right temperature. The eggs probably went bad. And I lost so much confidence in my baking, you know?
It's funny you say that.
And I never wanted to bake. And it's so funny. This is why I don't bake cakes. I think everybody knows that. I do everything but cakes. So it's something that I never felt confident about. And this is the beauty of also eggless baking is it's also very easy to do. Eggless, vegan, healthy are very easy recipes. They're not complicated where you now start figuring out, did the eggs go bad or did I over whisk them? I mean, eggs, yes, it's fun, but you can do it at a later stage. I just feel start in a simpler way. And yeah, I wish I would have started in a simpler way, which I did. So later on, you know, when you are allowed to be in the kitchen, which means you need to reach like past teenage age, is when you're grating carrots and guests are coming and you're making a salad and you're cutting potatoes and you're helping around. But I started very late and I don't want to wait till that late for my daughters. I wanted them to start as young as 6, you know. And now, like, you're the blessed mom to get breakfast, I'm also the blessed mom that gets breakfast.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Also, you talked about how many copies you've sold, and there was once I also heard you say that this is the first book of its
Yes.
kind in which region?
In Kenya.
In Kenya. First children's cookbook.
In Kenya.
In Kenya.
Yeah.
Oh, that
yeah.
is
By a Kenyan author, of course.
Yeah.
So we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right? This was just an idea. And because the girls started loving to cook and, you know, they were doing all these recipes. Again, all the recipes have been tested and tried by them. Mm-hmm. So whatever they couldn't make, it was not published.
Okay.
Because I was like, this is not about me. This is about the children.
So I was going to ask you, who decided the recipes would, you know, appear here or not? So it was the girls.
It was the girls because they were like, okay, mommy, this is so hard. Mommy, the idea was, can you independently hack a recipe?
Yeah. Then
Okay.
it goes.
So then it goes publishing. So once we got the books printed, we got the books published, is when we were told by the Kenya National Library that, okay, we don't have a children's cookbook section.
Oh.
And I was like, well, this is not a cooking book. It's a children's cookbook. And it's 2 different segments. And they were like, okay, fine. And because you're a Kenyan author, we will now introduce a children's cookbook section. And this
so
was one of the
beautiful.
first cookbooks to go.
You started a section
So
in Kenya.
in Kenya, called children's cookbook.
That's
I mean, they have been cookbooks out there. I won't deny, and it's what I've also referred to while I was researching on how to do my cooking. But Kenyan cookbook with Kenyan ingredients and with, of course, a Kenyan author has. I think we are the first. We've mastered that one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And any other challenges that you faced while?
Yes, a lot. First of all, the shooting of the cookbook was quite challenging. It took us a long time. It took us almost 2 years because I needed to get the kids at their comfort zone. Midterms, I had to target holidays. That's when we could, start working on the recipes. The second challenge I had was printing and the costs that were involved.
It's full color. It's beautifully done.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I think the guy who's printed, they were actually printed in Arusha.
Okay.
So it's a very good friend of mine who printed it for us. And he's done a fantastic job. I mean, he's got the colors spot on, even if you look at it, the illustrations and everything, he's got it really right. Yeah, they really popped out. The only problem that I had is this was my baby and I needed to work on it on my own terms. And it was a low budget idea. It's something I just dreamt about. And printing companies here were all talking about big numbers and big quantities. And you need to finance it also in a big way.
Yes.
And it was a challenge. And then I found a really good friend who runs a printing press in Arusha. And he was like, you know what? I can even do it for you as small as 50 copies, provided you give me 1 copy for my child. And that is amazing. That is when I felt people really support Kenyan work and local work and appreciate that the hard work and the effort that you're putting in. And that's how the copies started flowing in. And
And then, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you then, spread the word? Was it word of mouth? Was it through your social media?
Yes, it was. It was through word of mouth. There was a gallery whereby I had all my branded chocolates and my branded baking stuff. And they're good friends as well, owned by women, of course, 2 women who run a boutique. And they were like, you know what, this is an excellent thing to have. We'll put it in our shop, but you need to do launch.
Yeah.
And that's how they forced me to do a book launch. And it's amazing how women have supported me throughout my journey. The editor of the cookbook is also a woman. The photographer is a woman as well. You can see the women behind pushing the cookbook of the launch were women as well. So it's been so nice to get so much love and support just to get till here.
Oh, I love that. And I know you mentioned your mom and your sister.
No doubt. Yeah, family.
Your sister who gave your kids their first cookbook.
Yes, it's in one of the stories. So she actually gave them a cookbook, and that's when I realized that a cookbook does not have to be so literal. If it is easy for them to read, where I don't need to put the effort. So this cookbook has pictures whereby even someone who cannot read can just look at the instructions. So thanks to her and thanks to a very good friend who also said, we love your recipes and why don't you do a cookbook? And with, of course, mom always being there to support my work and whatever I do, we've just made it. Yeah.
Awesome. So I have a question. Now, kids who are, let's say, who have these cookbooks and kids who are using recipes from this cookbook, what do you want them to remember about, the experience of cooking? Let's say they're going through their, cupboard of books and they're like, oh, this book. And then what do you want them to remember about the experience of cooking?
In a nutshell, cooking is fun.
Yeah.
And I tell all my little chefs, we host some competitions. We do some cooking competitions for kids whereby I'm the judge. And, we're always judging what they're cooking. And I always tell them, have fun. That is more important. It's not about what is right or what is wrong. And this is something I also tell them. There is no right and there is no wrong in cooking. There is no set way of doing something. If you're making a salad and you don't have a certain ingredient and you want to improvise, go for it. Be creative. So have fun, be creative, get your independence from cooking, Also, it's very therapeutic.
Yeah.
we're in also an era where, everyone's going through so much mental health issues, and, kids are also getting so mentally charged up. Cooking and, like you said, bonding, it really calms your mind down, and it's no struggles, no hard work. It's literally right there. It's in your kitchen. The ingredients are right in front of you. Yeah. Make a sandwich, be creative. I remember the first sandwich my daughter made is she cut bread, and then she took a cookie cutter and she cut shapes. And then she put a layer of jam at the bottom. So when you lift the sandwich, you actually get the shapes. And that was it. I mean, it doesn't have to be the right way. Yeah. A sandwich is a sandwich. Yeah. You just use your creativity and just have fun,
So beautifully said. So for us, cooking is like when all four of us just, get into the kitchen. This is when a lot of stories come up. Yes. Because, when kids come home from school and you're like, oh, how was school and what happened? They're like, good, nothing, Yeah. These stories only come out when they're relaxed and then when you're sharing, they're sharing. So it can be such an awesome bonding thing for families as well.
It is. It's so much fun. In fact, I even challenge you that have a cook today. This one's going to prepare this dish where you can all help.
Yeah.
But we do that as well. Today it's your cooking day. Oh. Let it be simple.
Yeah.
But just to give them that pride and motivation and confidence. And I think it'll really go a long way. And I think the culinary world is so vast. And it helps individuals in so many different ways. It's just, it's never been talked about, or it's never been, given so much thought.
For kids,
for people in general, even for parents. Like you're saying, you're bonding with your kids. Like, it's one of the skills that's right available, cost friendly. You don't have to spend any money to bond with them. It's right there. It's available. So, I feel like it's so vast, and I'm so glad like you are sitting down here with me and giving me this chance to even just talk about it and spread the word out there that, hey, cooking, that's how it starts. Yeah. Start from there,
And you said something about competition.
Yeah.
These are kids competitions?
Yes.
Kids cooking competitions.
Kids cooking competitions, yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
So there is a committee that I work with, and we do a lot of kids competitions. There's Young Taste Masters, there's Vipaji Academy. We've done work with so many of them, whereby I get the honor to be a chef host. Mm-hmm. And I never knew I'm going to be able to criticize kids' work. It was the hardest thing to do, especially if you're a mother, right? Yeah. You're like, oh my God, they're cooking. That's a big thing, But they challenged me to critically look at things. And at the same time, I think I love these platforms because I am mesmerized as to what kids can do. Wow. When I look at a 10-year-old whipping up a whole meal in front of me, I'm shocked. I'm like, this is what they can do at this age. Just imagine another 10 years where the child will be. Even if they cannot be successful in their studies or it's not their forte, you have this extra skill which you can now work upon and, become a chef or become a home baker. Why not?
Why not?
And do something, be there. So it's, like I said, the culinary world even now is become a career choice,
Why not?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that we know who've studied something but then have chosen to be, chefs or something else as well, and then look at their creative side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's next for you? Or what else is cooking?
Oh, that's nice. That's very interesting. I think the year's just started. I haven't had much thought, but whatever comes, definitely I like to do something that's very different, something that's very unique, and something that can make a change. What I love is that baking was out there to make a change and to show people that an eggless product can be as delicious and as edible. So it was a perception change, The second perception change was that home baking can be a business, And now you've heard of so many home bakers. But when I had started, I started because of, I had the girls and I had to start baking. And for me, it was also for my sanity and to keep my sanity levels going with juggling being motherhood and kids with allergies. So the baking came to me as my therapy, at that time, and I embraced it. But now it's a business, so that's one angle. Cookbook, again, the angle. The first Kenyan cookbook, first to inspire children to cook in their own kitchen, to get confident, to be creative and show them a different path of what the world is about. It's just not one direction, So if there's something does come the way, it will definitely be something unique.
I have no doubt. And I've always known you to be a yes person. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to what's next.
Thank you. Thank you so much for even giving me this platform to... I know I talk a lot, Dhruti? I hope I've not taken much of your... Yeah,
No,
but...
no.
Thank you for this. Thank you for giving me this platform. And I hope everyone gets to learn something. And I think let's do what we're doing.
Yes.
You're inspiring so many women out there. I've seen all your episodes. And I think this is what the world today needs. A lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration. And let's look at things in an open-minded way.
Definitely. Why not? And it's actually, I remember we did a live on Insta. And
Yes.
that's how I'm like, oh my God, there's so many amazing people who have awesome stories. And
Yeah.
that's exactly how this was birthed.
No. So thank you.
Thank you.
Keep having more people on your platform. I think it's amazing to spread the word out there.
Thank you.